You can't pay me to be Gunna right now after this Young Thug interview. Because before this interview, a lot of us looked at Gunna as the victim, Young Thug as the petty, spiteful, vindictive ninja.
We still look at him like that, Flacco.
But
we still
after
look
this
at him
interview,
like that.
And if you were one of the 100,000+ people watching this live, you walked away from this interview probably on Young Thug's side.
No, we did. You're the only person in the world that walked off on the Young Thug side of this, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. We don't agree with none of that shit. But what we do agree on is if we want some thoink and we want to roll it up and get high, we gonna roll it up in this right here. This is my new shit. This is my new shit. It can be your new shit too. Go get it right now. I'm trying to put you on. Don't look at me like that.
Probably feeling differently about Young Thug than you felt before the interview. I'm convinced that the majority of people who was clowning Thug, attacking Thug throughout this week, Thug won over everybody.
No, he didn't.
That's just a fact. If
no,
you
it's
watch
not.
this interview, Thug came across as honest, genuine,
he didn't,
passionate.
Bro. No, he didn't.
Thug really poured his eyes out, and Thug put things into perspective, man.
No, he didn't.
Because what a lot of us thought was Thug is this petty, vindictive dude who's trying to run everybody, who's trying to control people's life, who's trying to gossip. And he went down the list. He addressed everything and didn't shy away from nothing. The first thing he addressed is the Gunna situation. Why are you so hard on Gunna, man? Because a lot of us look at Gunna as like the victim, as this quiet dude who's just trying to make music and live, and Thug is just keep on picking at him. Thug broke down why he's taking this Gunna thing personally and why he believed Gunna is a rat, even though a lot of us say Gunna just took a plea deal.
I'm a twin, bro. I don't got my friends, bro. I'm just fuck, right? I'm fuck, bro. The nigga I be with every day, I don't got him no more, bro. I'm fuck, bro. Damn. I'm fucked up, bro. I don't know what to do, bro. Like, and I ain't lose no nigga tragic or now. I lost a nigga to betrayal, bro. You signing that one piece of paper, signing your initials on this one piece of paper could get me a life sentence, my nigga. How you, like, what? Come on, bro.
It's not him signing. This is what niggas don't understand, bro. And I'm gonna be a grown man in this situation, bro. Him signing a paper is not gonna get you a life sentence. What your ass took your ass outside and did can get you a life sentence, nigga. Nobody told you to kick it around a bunch of killers. Nobody told you to tell somebody to go shoot at somebody's mama and then get on the song and say we shooting at your mama. Nobody told you to gangbang, nigga. Nobody made you do no crime, bro. Motherfuckers love to wait until we get in the courtroom. What you want, Gunna to go do 5, 10 years? You want him to go do 15 years for some shit he ain't do? Or you want everybody else on the case to go do time for some shit they ain't do? Because your ass tweaking, basically. Because you hanging out with Woody and all these other niggas that's shooting people. You getting Rich Homie Quan barbershop shot up and all this shit. You dissing dead. I mean, not dissing dead, but you talking about we shooting at your mama on songs and shit. Why you think you was the last one there, bro? Why you think they ain't give you no plea deal? Why you feel me? Nigga, you did that, bro. This is just a result of what you did. So if a nigga snitch on you, okay, maybe you feel betrayed. But if your ass wasn't committing crimes in the first place, Young Thug has been rich with money since I was in fucking high school. I'm a stoner, I'm a stoner, I'm a stoner. I'm a motherfucking stoner. Nigga, I was in high school parties as a freshman and sophomore in abandoned buildings playing stoner, loud as hell on the radio on the way to middle school and shit, listening to stoner. So that was at least 12, 13 years ago. You ain't get locked up for some shit you did 20 years ago, bro. You got locked up for some shit you did since you've been rich, since you've been on. Nobody told you to do that, twin. You could have been I don't give a damn if you was making $10,000 a month. You could have been took that money and moved out the hood and stopped associating yourself. You did that shit, nigga. It ain't gonna fall.
Bro, I get a life sentence all this piece of paper you signed, bro.
No.
Just cause you trying to get home fast, or you just trying to get to a hole, or you just doing a certain thing, bro. And you already done betrayed a nigga before, bro. Damn. A piece of paper, nigga, gonna let a piece of paper in all this shit. Nigga, we men, bro. We brothers, nigga. Ain't no nigga in the world making me go get Gunna. No nigga, bro.
We be having a lot to say.
So why you ain't get on the courtroom and say Gunna ain't had nothing to do with nothing? Why you ain't say that? Why you ain't tell the judge that? because you was looking out for yourself, right? So why you mad at him for looking out of himself? I'm just playing devil's advocate, bro. Why you get mad at him for looking out for himself and he took a plea deal? Okay, yeah, he signed a paper. Okay, cool. You signed the same fucking paper, thug, a week before trial because you said you couldn't take it no more. A week before trial, all you could have sat in there for 7 more days and went to trial, but you couldn't take it no more, and you couldn't take the thought of the fact that you would never see your kids again if you don't take this plea deal. It's a possibility that they could find you guilty. You couldn't take that, so you signed that plea deal. I don't like when people judge people for doing some shit that they did, bro. We all been in a fucked up situation before. It's a fucked up situation. Do I stay in here and stay in jail and possibly go do time, or do I sit in this jail for 3 more years about some shit Gunna ain't get charged with? Nathaniel, nothing. So do I sit in jail for 3-4 years because I'm trying to keep it real with my homie? Or do I get out right now and go flourish and agree that nothing I'm saying could be used against Thug? Not one time in Thug trial did they ever bring up what Gunna did. Like,
our street dudes on this particular channel, y'all know it, bro. But what Young Thug just says expands beyond the streets, and it expands beyond just this court case, man.
Barely.
Think about what Young Thug just said. Think about the principle and the context he just said, yo. Put yourself in a room with your best friend. Y'all in a room and y'all trapped. And the people who got y'all trapped in the room come and say, yo, here's a piece of paper. The first person to sign this piece of paper gets to leave this room, but your homie is gonna die.
Bro, that's not what happened. Like, that's not what's going on, bro. That is not what happened, my guy. I get it, but that is not nowhere near what happened. Nobody came to this nigga and said, if you sign this paper, your homie gonna die. Nobody said that.
Man, I ain't signing that paper, bro. All right? I ain't signing that paper.
Nobody.
Listen, man, me and my best friend gonna fight out the situation or else we both die, but I ain't gonna sign this paper and kill my best friend. You crazy? You said, nah, I ain't signing it. And then you look over and your best friend is taking that pen and signing it with the intent that if he leaves this room, you are going to die. And he's comfortable and okay.
That ain't
with
what
signing.
Gunna did. I'm almost positive Gunna looked at his lawyers and said, is anything I'm signing going to be used against Young Thug? As long as his lawyer said no, I'm signing whatever. Gunna lawyer came out and said nothing Gunna said, nothing Gunna did, nothing Gunna plead out to can or will be used against Young Thug. Gunna does not have to come to court. Gunna will not take the stand. None of that shit happened. Gunna didn't take the stand. Gunna didn't come to court. And the judge or the prosecutor never brung up nothing that Gunna said or signed.
That paper and leaving you for dead. He signs it and walks out the room.
So I don't agree with this analogy,
when he walks out the room and the door closes, you start to fight your way out of it, and you start swinging, flipping chairs, whatever, and you find a way to defeat the people who got you in the room, and you leave.
Young Thug didn't defeat it. He signed a plea deal too.
And now you're free and safe.
Why we ain't talking about the fact that Yak Gotti was on trial? You signing a plea deal could have hurt him. And then after the trial, you came out on Twitter and on the internet talking about Yak Gotti a snitch. Like, so what Flacco's saying, and I'll fuck with Flacco the long way, but what Flacco's saying is just not, it's not the same thing, bro.
You go back to liking the best friend who signed the paper, not knowing you were going to make it out this room, thinking you were probably going to die in this room. You'll probably hate him too. When Thug put it into perspective, this is where you gotta understand him.
No, you don't.
Now, let's make it even worse. The person you were trapped in the room with is someone that you took care of, gave millions of dollars to, took care of their mama, took care of their kids, took the shirt off your back and gave it to him when you ain't have a shirt to put on. And they did that to you, how will you react?
I had him man on me every day since late 2015. I had him man on me every day, bro. I made that man I made him a millionaire. Like, I bought his first apartment that he lived in. I bought it with my money. I made him put his money up. Keep your money. I bought it with my money because I had a little extras. I bought that shit. I went half and half with you to buy your mama house. Your mama first house, get her out of the hood. I did that. Me. I told you to go down there to the country town and get your daddy, no matter what your differences is with your daddy. I told you that. I know for a fact, me personally, I know your dad don't look at you like a real nigga. I know that. This my man's. Your dad is my OG. He don't look at you like that. I made you go get your dad. I made you reunite with your family and do the right thing. I just poured my all into him, bro. I gave him more time than my children, bro. I gave him more time than my kids. I gave him more time than my old lady. Like, I poured my life into these people, bro.
This interview forced us to really go back and look at Gunna's plea deal. And if you look at the plea deal, Gunna agreed to testify against Thug.
No, he didn't.
Now, he never had to testify. It was never used against Thug in court. He never really had to come to court and testify, but he agreed to testify.
Just because you agree to testify don't mean you agree to snitch, bro. You know how many motherfuckers get on the stand and send the police right off? Niggas ain't never seen Power. We can't anticipate what he was gonna say on the stand. I don't give a fuck. Whether he signed it or not. He didn't get on the stand. So we can't be sitting here, oh, if he would have got on the stand, he would have snitched on me. Or he could have got on the stand and saved you too. You feel me? Like,
so if you're looking at it from a street perspective and you're a Thug and you're a Gunna, if you agree to testify against your brother, if you agree that when push comes to shove, if y'all need me to testify against Thug, I'm gonna come and testify against Thug. And you can't plead the fifth for the things you already pled guilty to in that plea deal. So if you had to take the stand and say YSL is a gang, you would have had to do that because that's what you already agreed to in the plea deal. The Fifth Amendment, to plead the fifth, would be I'm pleading the fifth to things that I could potentially go to jail for in the future. YSL is a gang, and those things that you already pled guilty towards, you can't plead the fifth to that. So if you're signing that plea deal not knowing that these folks would never call you, you're signing it with thinking and knowing they're going to call me one day to testify. And you were comfortable doing that. If you look at the highlighted area, it says, if called by any party in this case, you would testify truthfully, but reserve your right to assert your Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination. Gunna agreed to this. So he agreed to testify against Thug. He just never had to testify against Thug.
you don't have to agree to anything, right? You get what I'm saying? You don't have to agree. A motherfucker can call you to the stand. You could have, like, nothing. You could have been his mama. If the prosecutor call you to the stand, they can subpoena you to the stand. There's nothing you can do about it. You have to come up there. So that little, what you call it, I'm just saying, I'm not saying, and I'm going to be clear, I'm not saying what Gunna did was the best thing to do or the perfect thing to do or none of that shit. I'm not saying that, bro. But what I'm saying is, if I was Young Thug, right? And my best friend, my homie, this person who I poured all my stuff into, everything he said, I understand how you could feel somewhat betrayed. But if I know damn well Gunna ain't had nothing to do with none of the shit that I'm locked up for, and I know damn well that I had something to do with it, I'm not even gonna let him, I'm gonna tell him, yes, bro, take the little funky ass plea deal, bro. Take it. Go ahead. I'll figure it out, bro. I promise. I got it, bro. Because I'm the leader. I'm King Slime. I'm the leader. So if all y'all got to get out and I got to go to jail for what the fuck we did and I'm the one that got us here, nigga, that's just what it's going to have to be then. You see what I'm saying? If I am the leader of this group and I say we go right and y'all follow me right, and right is a trap, a death trap, we all finna die. I'm not going to let nobody, I led you over here, nigga. I led y'all over here. I'm the one who supported this. I'm the one who said go right. So if I led y'all right, and right is a death trap, I promise you I'm going to die before I let something happen to y'all. Point blank period. Point blank period with anything in life, bro. Because I'm a leader, and the leader is going to take responsibility regardless. I ain't heard Young Thug not one time say, "Hey, bro, I'm sorry for putting y'all in a dumbass position. Hey, Gunna, I'm sorry you even had to go spend time in solitary confinement. You ain't even get charged with shit. I'm sorry that I even put y'all in that predicament. I'm sorry that I made them songs. I'm sorry that I was connected to these murders and connected to these drugs and all this shit. I'm sorry that I did this shit. I'm sorry that I ain't tell y'all we leaving the streets alone. I'm sorry that I kept supporting the streets, gang banging this, gang banging that. I ain't heard him say that shit not one time, folks. You ever had one of them days where everything seems to go wrong? I mean, you're just trying to grab a cup of coffee and BAM! You're tangled in a pile of boxes because the shelf is broken. And just like that, I realized sometimes accidents at work are more than just funny stories. They can actually change everything. Trying to handle a workplace injury on your own? It's like trying to fix the broken shelf yourself. More chaos, more headaches, and it's no guarantee that you'll get what you deserve. You got paperwork, insurance calls, and someone always telling you to wait. It's enough to make you wish you had a secret weapon. But here's the thing, there's a team of people that fights for people just like you. For over 35 years, Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, has been winning cases when everybody else said it couldn't be done. In Florida, someone got $12 million after a work accident, even though the insurance was ready to offer just $350,000. In Pennsylvania, a worker was awarded $26 million, which was 40 times the initial offer. These are not just numbers. They're real victories for real people, all thanks to the team that fights hard for justice. More than 1,000 attorneys across all 50 states, like a legal squad ready to jump into action. Yeah. They've recovered over $25 billion for clients. And they have a long history of helping workers get what they're owed. Because when you're injured at work, you shouldn't have to go at it alone. You can just click the link below or the QR code that's on your screen. No endless waits or confusing forms. Just a quick way to start protecting your rights today. So if you had an accident on the job, do not risk doing it alone. You can check out Morgan & Morgan, because even in the toughest workplace accidents, a strong team makes all the difference. And trust me, there's a reason why they're America's largest injury law firm. It's because they fight for the people just like you. You did wrong and everybody did wrong in the situation, bro. So everything should be forgiven and y'all should go ahead and go back to what the fuck was going on before. Ain't nobody in jail. Nobody got locked up for the shit. So just get past it and go about y'all life. That's how I feel. But again, if I lead some niggas, if I'm around some niggas and I'm the leader, bro, I remember when I got my niggas locked up, bro, me being a leader, we got me and three of my homies, all four of us got locked up in Miami. When we got in that cell, they closed that cell, we was all in there together. I looked around, I said, hey, y'all, my bad. It wasn't even my fault. But I'm like, nigga, it's my fault. We shouldn't have been smoking in the car. I should have said no. We should have took the guns to the hotel room first. You see what I'm saying? We shouldn't have even been smoking in the car to give them enough probable cause to search the motherfucker. Then we wouldn't have been in this dumbass predicament. But I'm the one saying, hey, let's flame up. Fuck it, we in Miami. We ain't got nothing to worry about. You see what I'm saying? So I just look at it like that, bro. I look at it two different ways.
To testify against Thug. He just never had to testify against Thug.
We going in the trial saying that YSL is not a gang. Now, you got Gunna and the rest of these 7 niggas take a plea and say YSL is a gang. Except Duke. Everybody else who took a plea said YSL is a gang. Now, we having a meeting, all the lawyers having a round table meeting. Now all the lawyers saying YSL ain't no gang. These are the points we're gonna hit. This is what we're gonna do. YSL not a gang. This is what we're going to. All lawyers are aligned. 100%, all they have. This is what we doing. Huddle, break. Now this nigga take a plea and say it is a gang. Now these 7 niggas take a plea and say it is a gang. Now they going back into the drawing board. Now the lawyer going to the drawing board like, well, now we talking.
Who made the gang, Thug? You made the damn gang. You is the leader of YSL, bro. You know damn well it's a gang. The fuck? So if your dumb ass never made YSL a gang, if y'all wasn't ever killing people and shooting at niggas and selling drugs and whatever the fuck else y'all was doing, y'all wouldn't be in this predicament, Thug.
To the jurors, first we telling the jurors YSL ain't a gang. Now we going back to the jurors say, well, some people might say it's a gang. But we ain't a part of that part of it. We a part of the record label part.
You agree to testify, you never really did, but you agreed to testify if you have to. And based on what you did, I had to change up my entire defense, which gave me a lesser percentage of actually defeating this RICO because of what you did. Now, here's where Young Thug, I guess, messes up, right? Young Thug messes up because Young Thug is more mad at certain people than the other, right?
Right.
Like, for example, Young Thug will say, yo, DK and others, they're wrong, they're flawed for taking the exact same plea deal that Gunna took, but he's less mad at them because he believed that Gunna took the plea deal first.
What about the who actually started YSL with you? Didn't they take their plea before Gunna?
No, he the first plea.
For real?
Gunna took the first. He know that. You know that.
I didn't know that.
Gunna took the first plea.
I thought them niggas already telling them.
No, Gunna took the. They had already told back in the day on crimes and shit that they was involved in and all that.
On the RICO?
Nah.
No, see, look.
The RICO came in 2022.
I'm thinking.
The RICO came March 9th, 2022, man.
What's the little dude's name?
May 9th.
From your hood that's
DK.
Started, and who is another one too?
Slug?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that them two already saying like, just say, Vincent, if me, Shy, and Cuz start a gang, right?
Yes.
And we all identify as the three founders.
Right.
And
nobody made y'all start.
Let's
start there. Do your homework. Nobody made y'all start the gang. So if y'all don't start the gang, you can't get locked up for it. What the fuck? Am I tripping? It ain't like, see, it'd be a betrayal for real for me if we was all law-abiding, we all innocent, and the whole world know your ass was in a gang, thug. The whole world know this. The fuck? You ain't keep it a secret? You on Instagram with, come on, bro. You on Instagram throwing up gang signs and saying slap this and slime. We gonna slime him out. We shoot at his mommy. You wearing green flags and claiming blood. So, nigga, the whole world know you in the gang. The fuck? So it ain't like y'all kept it a secret. Now, if all y'all kept it a secret, if all y'all was innocent and y'all got locked up and a nigga snitch on you about some shit you didn't do, cause he trying to get home early instead of, okay, then so a little bit of me understand that, but I don't know. Ain't nobody make y'all do this shit.
And the two founders saying, yeah, it's a game. But Bank saying it's not. How is Thug wrong for just being an artist by saying it is too? That's what I'm thinking happened.
No, that ain't what happened. That ain't what happened, man. The first plea took was Gunna plea. Ever. The first plea took was Gunna. Slug, all them took pleas after Gunna. Everybody took the plea after Gunna. I can't even be as mad at them as I can be as him. I should, because y'all still grown men. No matter what this nigga say, y'all grown men. Just like me. When he said YSL was a gang, the smartest thing for me to do is say, yeah, it is a gang. One of the niggas who they saying is a founder of it, he not even a founder. One of the niggas who they saying is a founder of it that came on out and took a plea and said it's a gang. You'll be a mother idiot to sit in here saying that it's not a gang.
That's where Young Thug messed up at. That's where he messed up at. Because Thug was
That's another reason why niggas is on your ass, Thug. Because you continuously just point out Gunna. You ain't pointing out your brother. You ain't pointing out nobody else. Everybody else is cool. It's cool when they do it, but it's a problem when I do it though. Everybody else did the same thing, but you keep focusing on me. That's where it become a little problem, bro.
That DK and others would be an idiot if they didn't take the plea deal and say YSL is a gang, because Gunna already did it first, which is why he's mad at Gunna and not really them for what they did in the YSL trial, but he's really mad at them for them snitching before the trial. And which is why he gave his brother an excuse and told his brother, hey, you take the plea deal, you go home. Because, everybody else already took a plea. So by Thug's logic, people who take a plea after the first person took a plea, they good, they solid, they ain't really rats, because, like everybody else already took the plea. Well, by this logic, then Thug is essentially exonerating Gunna, because DK took the plea deal first. You see, Thug is under the impression that Gunna took the plea deal first. No, DK took the plea deal first, and the paperwork proves it. The first document is DK's plea. If you look at DK's plea in the upper right, the date says 12/13/2022.
Where is that at? Oh, I see.
He pled guilty December 13th of.
So again, you false again, Thug. So what are we talking about? What are we talking? This is a fact. This is proven, black and white, documented facts, bro. This is the police and the Fulton County Superior Court. The first date is Walter Murphy. 12/13/22. Plea deal. Fuck. Second is Sergio Kitchens, aka Gunna. 12/15/22. 12:17 p.m. This is 2 days later. I think that you just was mad at the whole situation, and for whatever reason, you felt like you wanted to take it out on Gunna, bro. Because it's no way you sitting on here confidently, loud, talking about some, no, he was the first person to take the plea deal. This is a fact, bank. No, it's not. It's not a fact. I'm looking at the shit.
2022. If you look in the far right of Gunna's plea deal, it says 12/15/2022. So DK took the plea deal, and then Gunna took the plea deal. So by Young Thug's logic, he's not as mad as Gunna, or he at least understands Gunna taking a plea deal, and he believes Gunna will be a fool not to take the plea deal.
Right. By your logic, you keep contradicting yourself, bro. That's that.
So by that logic, then he should forgive Gunna. But I don't feel like Thug feels this way. I feel like Thug really do feel like, hey, bruh, you signed that paper with the intent, knowing that you were gonna throw me under the bus and I could possibly do life in prison, and you signed it agreeing to testifying against me if you have to. I can never rock with you again. Gunna has been quiet, and him being quiet and letting kind of like the public iron it out, because I feel like right now there is a shifting guard, and people for the most part is sick and tired of street dudes in the streets.
Right.
So when Thug came out and it felt like antagonizing and picking at Gunna while Gunna's being quiet, a lot of people felt like Thug was, like kind of like being a bully, and which is why a lot of people was on Gunna's side.
Right.
Now, Thug would actually speak on Gunna's silence, and he would say, yo, Gunna is being quiet because he's strategic. He ain't reach out behind the scenes to, you feel me, to talk to me or like send a text because he's being strategic, right? Like he wants to kind of be quiet and have no record out there of any statements because he kind of want the people, to feel sympathy for him.
What?
Me personally, as a man, me knowing him, he's smarter than he look. Gunna's a smart man. He let his silence make you think other things about him. He's a smart man. He's strategic. I taught him how to be.
You see how he keep taking credit for I taught him how to be.
The thing about it is, when it come down to being real, the strategicness go away from me. When it come to being a man, like standing on man business, a man. I know how to be strategic, but I forget to be strategic when it come to that. I'm gonna say the truth. I'm gonna pour it out what it's supposed to be. Life to him is just all about being strategic. It ain't about nothing about being a real man or like coming to grips with what's going on or just like knowing like I did that. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna always be some strategic shit behind it.
So
I don't get it. I don't get what he's saying right there.
It just came out the blue. Usually when niggas, if you the nigga you describing, you would have been saw that though. So you saying this just came out the blue with that case?
Gunna gotta speak, man. Gunna has to speak. He has to, bruh. We gotta hear what was going through your mind, Gunna. Because, Thug did a brilliant job, man. He took this from street court and put it in a friendship court, man. He took this from street court and put it in real life court. Man, I took care of this man mama. I made him a millionaire. I took care of his kids. I gave him money when he was effed up. I signed him to a record deal. I ain't take $1 from him. He's the only major mainstream artist, bro, who get 100% of his stream revenue, his masters, his everything. I ain't take nothing from him. I did all this good for him, and he signed.
But you ain't keep him out of jail though. You did all that good for him, but you ain't keep him away from crime. You ain't tell the judge that he ain't had nothing to do with nothing. You ain't say that. Why you ain't say that, Thug? Because you knew that would have been, in order for you to say that, you would have had to admit you was guilty. You was looking out for yourself. You ain't give a damn. You ain't give a damn that he was in jail for some shit that he ain't had nothing to do with. You ain't nobody care about that. But everybody care when he snitched though. Nobody give a fuck. Go look at what Gunna charges was, bro. Basically just being around. That's the only charge that he had, just being around. He just a rapper that be around. We gonna arrest his ass too. He always with him. He must be on in the game. Now one person stood up and said, "Hell no." I feel the same way about Queso and his dad. Ain't no way in the world I'm letting my motherfucking dad go to jail for some shit that I did. No way in the world, bro. Hey, I know what y'all accusing me of, but I can guarantee you one thing for sure. Let my dad free. Let my man's free. Let my brother free. He ain't had nothing to do with nothing. If y'all want to accuse me of it, accuse me of it. But I know for sure Gunna ain't do nothing to nobody. Let him out. And I'll testify that in court right now. Let's go. What y'all want to do? Y'all ain't finna hold my little brother in here. That's how I feel. Because if you want to stand up as a man, stand up as a man. Just like me and you, we get pulled over. You got a gun in the car. I don't know you got a gun in the car. Or even if I do know, who cares? We get pulled over. The police find the gun. So now the police finna take both of us to jail. We both got felonies or whatever the case is. Both of us finna go to jail for the same gun. No, absolutely not. Hey, I ain't know that gun was in there, but he just got in the car, so he for sure didn't know. So he shouldn't get charged at all. It's ways for me to say something without incriminating myself, but still making sure that you get your ass on somewhere. I'm not gonna let nobody go to jail for my gun, period. I don't give a fuck what's going on. When me and my best friend, nigga, when we got arrested, we both had loud in the car. One time, the first time we got arrested, I took the loud. I ain't necessarily claimed it to be mine, but I went to jail for it. I'm like, okay, yeah, take me to jail. Go ahead. The second time we got pulled over again, maybe a few months later, it wasn't even a conversation. He said, yeah, that's mine. Went on probation for it and all that. He had to go do community service and all that. He had to do more than I had to do. I beat the case. I paid $50 and got my license and beat the case. He had to go do more than I would do, but he wasn't finna let me take the case twice. I don't give a fuck what's going on. Because that's how we is. That's how locked in we is. It ain't no big eyes, it ain't no little U's. But I'm damn sure not finna let you go down for some shit that I had something to do with, knowing you ain't had nothing to do with nothing. Point blank, period. So I could be knee deep, I could be Pablo Escobar, nigga. If I got a little homie Gunna and we kicking it and he ain't did no crime or none of that shit and he get locked up on a RICO because he was around me, the first thing I'm gonna do is hey, go home, boy. Whatever plea deal you gotta take, nigga, go home, boy. Hell no. I ain't finna watch you sitting here and rot doing 23 hours in a cell every day. No. But you want me to honor you and not snitch and sit in this motherfucking cell for however long. If Gunna would have got a life sentence, y'all would have called him a real nigga. You see how that worked? If Gunna would have got a life sentence and not told or not signed no plea deal, y'all would have said he was a real nigga and he kept it solid. So why Young Thug ain't kept it solid? Why Young Thug ain't let nobody know that he ain't had nothing to do with shit?